My name is actually Elijah. I'm a human. That's firstly, that's who I am. The amount of time and effort that I do into my craft, I couldn't be doing that if I'm not getting paid off it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Life is real, bro, and you're gonna need to pay bills, take care of your wife and your kids. Take care of yourself also, bro. So, my mommy was asking me, only Nias is gonna listen because you Nias this, push that on every second line. So, who's gonna listen to what Nias and push that? So, I was like, damn. I'm at the top. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I can't compete with those below me. And I was saying, but when I say best, really, why I would say I'm the best or easily, definitely in the conversation for the best, is because of, I don't know anybody who has really done more than what the level I've attained and am busy operating at now. Do you understand what I'm saying? The song starts by saying, pioneers is best dat ek in die Kraaifontein kom wat wil. Now, okay, firstly, I felt like they're not from Kraaifontein. The excuses disappears when you can't hide in a crowd. Do you understand? When it's time up for you to make it happen, that's when we're gonna really see the character you are. In the Western Cape, there's a whole scene bubbling. I think Ziggy is just the first taste that people just have to get used to you understand? But here's a whole scene here. I wouldn't say an industry, but it's a scene here. We came to the conclusion, if you're not gonna write your story, somebody else is gonna write it. Firstly, I would say it's not a diss track, because I personally feel like I didn't diss anybody.
So then, why did you diss me? Yeah, welcome back to another episode of the Come We Talk Podcast. Today we have a guest that used to be the host of our old podcast and never got to get the interview, so today is finally that day. We are interviewing Mr. Bufu, Big Belly Bufu today.
Yes, sir.
So Bufu, let's start. The first question I ask everyone: who are you and what do you do?
My name is actually Elijah. I'm a human. That's firstly, that's who I am. But for context, Big Belly Bufu is a stage name that I go by when I do rapping or music in general. Do you understand what I'm saying? That was the question now? Who am I and
what do you do?
So I rap when I am Big Belly Bufu, but otherwise I'm Elijah, and Elijah is a human who has, how can I say, is multifaceted. Who loves life.
True, yes. So where does the name the Big Belly come from? How did you get to that?
Okay, this is interesting. Giving credit where credit is due. I think it was around of 2021 or 2022. I was with friends that I used to be on college with. This bro. Compared to where I'm from, this bro was very well off. Not that I was looking at him with that kind of, okay, now you well off or whatever. But that's the first thing that springs to mind about me. But he was a very disciplined person, also great at his schoolwork. But okay, that's a bit off topic. We were by him, and then we were basically braaiing, man. And so everybody at the braai, we as Bruce, everybody kind of had big bellies, except me at the time, funny enough. So they were talking about registering a brand, Big Belly Boys. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Boys,
they came up with that idea while I was there. So to be fair, I don't know if they even registered it, but I kind of ran with the idea. I really thought it was a dope way to, because with a Big Belly concept, you can market it for everything. You can be Big Belly barbecues, Big Belly beers, Big Belly whatever. Do you understand? And it's especially because the Big Belly ties into the concept of having a normal body with big bellies that is associated with beer, and you know what beer culture is here in Cape Town. You understand what I'm saying? So I thought it was a thing that a lot of people could have related to. So that's where the Big Belly part of it comes from.
And the Bufu part?
So Bufu actually was before Big Belly. Do you understand what I'm saying? Bufu comes from, obviously, my inspiration of the movie Hawaii, where they use the term Bufu, by us, fuck you. But I chose it as a name because it originally comes from Fubu. Do you understand what I'm saying? And Fubu was almost like a brand created, well, not almost like, is a brand created for urban culture, for people of color, people that maybe can't afford Versace, Gucci, Balenciaga. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I almost, in a sense, wanted to use that and say, okay, my music is by us, for us. Because like I've said many previous times, I feel like we are a voiceless generation, a voiceless people currently, especially in the hip-hop scene. We're not very well represented, and I want to be the one that is representing us. So when you hear my music, it will be by us, for us. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that is really what... and also it tells you, because Hawaii is a stoner movie, understand? So that's also ties into a lot of my personality, and also the type of rapping that Method Man and Redman does. That also ties into the type of rapping I do, I would think, and away. So that's where the Bufu part comes from. I chose to add the big belly because when I eventually searched up, and this is a concept that all artists must take into consideration when starting up. There's gonna be people where your name is probably gonna be used by different other people, so you're gonna need to find a way to differentiate yourself. And Youngster did a thing that a lot of people is copying, or not, I want to say copying on, but is also doing now, is with the Youngster CPT, because there was probably many other youngsters, but that is how you're gonna be able to, how can I say, put the trademark or the copyright on your brand. So I had to add the big belly to the Bufu to almost like, because I know there ain't gonna be no other big belly Bufus. You understand what I'm saying? Also of the concept like ASAP Mob. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you can be many different, there can be a big belly whatever or big belly, you understand what I'm saying? I'm just big belly Bufu.
Okay.
That way.
Okay, this a thing that you said that I want to go to just quickly. You said we are a voiceless generation. Yeah?
Correct.
What do you mean by that?
I feel like our stories are not being told by us. Do you understand what I'm saying? We, even in the previous podcast that we had, on the 184 podcast that we used to do, we were speaking about our stories, the need of our stories being told, or the how can I say, not the need not for our stories to be told. Do you understand what I'm saying? And we came to the conclusion, if you're not going to write your story, somebody else is going to write it. And if you do not narrate that or speak for yourself, who is actually on the grounds living and experiencing that experience, then whoever's telling it, it's gonna be an inauthentic version of it, and actually it's not gonna be the truth. So I think we need representation amongst our people, especially not just in hip hop, but various other spheres. But for now, Big Belly Bufu is about hip hop, is about music. So yeah, that's the sphere I want to tap into for representation of our people. That's why I feel we are lacking. And correct me if I'm wrong. Also, I don't want to shun anybody, but Western, there's outside of the Western Cape, people might not know this, but in the Western Cape, there's a whole scene bubbling. I think Ziggy is just a first taste that people just have to get used to understand. But there's a whole scene here. I want to say industry, but it's a scene here of what people would say Afrikaans rap. I think rap in general, like Laxman showed them, the English guys can go as well. Do you understand what I'm saying? But there's a whole scene people need to take notice of. And in that scene, Kraaifontein lacks representation. So I want to be the guy, or want to be the spark for a guy to be there. Because once one wins from Kraaifontein, we all win.
Truly, yes. And that is something now that you're working on through your music.
Yeah, I definitely want to try that. I feel like this is a make or break year also for me in terms of music. I feel like due to a lot of other distractions, also, to be honest, a lot of hurdles was put in my place by other people that was out of my control, that hindered my progress in terms of music. But now this year, I'm taking it on the chin. I'm taking it in the stride, and I'm giving it my 110% to make the shit work. So if it doesn't work, having given my 110%, then I know I will feel alright, saying, nah, it's not gonna work out, because you have to be general and you have to be honest about it. If you're not gonna get paid off this, then you are really wasting your time putting so much effort and time into this, which I do at the moment. You understand what I'm saying? So I wouldn't feel alright just saying, okay, I'm I'm retiring or I'm not gonna rap anymore if I didn't give it 110%. And that's what I'm doing for 2025. We're pushing big things on the way, boys. Big things.
With regards to what you said now with the money, right? Wouldn't you agree that would just be for some people? Because some people just raps for the sake of fun or create art for, not necessarily for money.
I hear you, but check this out. I've been writing rhymes since I was probably 10 years old, 9 years old. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'll probably be writing rhymes till I'm 90. Do you understand what I'm saying? But, well, like I said, putting the amount of time and effort that I do into my craft, I couldn't be doing that if I'm not getting paid off it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Life is real, bro, and you're gonna need to pay bills, take care of your wife and your kids, take care of yourself also, bro. So, for certain people, that's how funny it is in Kraaifontein to say, I'm a rapper, because people think like, bro, that's a hobby, that shit ain't finna pay. And I'm wanna be one of the ones that, if it's not me getting paid off it, the next generation needs to get paid over this. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, we have a senior, but we need an industry, and we need to be the ones right now. If you are a rapper, if you are doing hip-hop, if you are doing music, it's now the time to knock the doors down and pave the way so we can get paid, you understand, for what we are doing.
True. And we're definitely working towards that. You said that this year is a make or break it year for you. Why would you say it's a make or... If you don't make it this year, would you just say you're going to leave music or what?
Realistically, I would think I would definitely have to spend less time on it. Because there's a lot of things that I want to do. Do you understand? Like I said, Elijah's a multifaceted person, and Bufu is just an aspect of that. You understand? It's a chapter in my story for now. I have bigger plans, other things that I want to do outside of music, definitely. But music is a passion for me, and I think like right now it is a great way and needed as well for me to do what I am doing. Do you understand what I'm saying? But it's a harsh reality, my bro, because coming from, I don't know how other people experience it, but my mentor, and it's not even to shun my mentor because it's being realistic. My people has always been, when I say my people, my parents, has always told me, Kiki, listen, you can be good or whatever, but that's not going to be enough to make it. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the chances must be realistically and not idealistic about the thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? The chances of making it as a successful rapper in Cape Town is slim. Do you understand? Who has really made it out of Cape Town that is a rapper? Slim pickings. You understand what I'm saying? So, man needs to be realistic about it and can't just keep on going against the grain. If you see it's not working, you understand what I'm saying? You must be doing something else here, because continuing doing the same thing and expecting different results is insanity. You understand what I'm saying?
True. But there are most different avenues you can take besides being, let's say, the talent, the fame, the one in the front. Like, you can still be a manager also in the music, you know. Okay, you can also even be a ghostwriter.
True. Elements like also like producing. Like I'm probably sure we're gonna get into that later, but acting, filming is also an aspect that I want to get into. So but like I'm saying, I need to get paid, bro. I need money right now. Do you understand? That's another how I reference, but bro, I need to make it work, and I'm giving it my all, bro. So I feel like it's gonna translate because the Lord does help those who help themselves in this. So when you are really giving it your all, ain't no way that you can fail, bro. I feel like that's facts.
Definitely. So what genre of music or what type of music would you say you make?
Hectic, bro. Hectic. I don't know what genre you could call it. I would say hip hop firstly. Hip hop, because there's definitely elements of hip hop. I definitely do want to diversify my music. For a long time, I have tried to find my own lane. I didn't want to sound like anybody else. I wanted to find a pocket in, say, Cape Town's hip hop scene where I fit in, where I can be, okay, this is what I am doing. but I feel like my music needs to diversify because even like when we were working together, there were certain crowds I couldn't perform in front of because of the content of my songs. You understand what I'm saying? And when I speak about content, it's mostly vulgar music. Like my mommy, the song that I dropped the other day, to be honest with you guys, my mommy told me the other day, who's all gonna listen to the song that I'm saying? Can I swear on the podcast?
Yeah.
Yo, my mommy was asking me, only Nias is gonna listen because you Nai this, push that on every second line. So who's gonna listen to it? Nias and Puster. So I was like, damn. But I wait. So that is the type of music I make currently. But I do want to diversify definitely because my inspiration is very diverse. Do you understand what I'm saying? But you need to be very selective of the type of music that you're putting out because if you do lack an identity or a special, the fans know, okay, this is what you are about, and you're gonna be just lost in the shuffle. Do you understand what I'm saying? So away. So for now, I want to establish myself in the sound that I am making, but do want to diversify.
Okay. How would you say? How do you get your music made? What do you like? Do you pay for it? Do you go to a studio? How do you get that done?
Okay, do you want? Okay, the process or how it's made, or
How do you
I
get
make
it?
the song?
Yeah, how do you get it done? Do you do it yourself? Do you hire other people? Like what?
Oh, just clarify for me what that's what I'm asking. Are you asking song creation or song making, like recording, like that process? Are you asking which one?
I'm asking how do you get the full product of it? So like what do you do as an artist to go get the full, because you must have to, or most people has to pay for beats and get
Okay,
the
let me be
producer.
real. My like how I create music normally is of inspiration. I think there's a great quote that Jay-Z had in on his Fade to Black documentary where he says music is mostly based off inspiration, and when it's uninspired, it translates to the viewer or the listener. Do you understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I've always taken that quote to heart, and where it's almost like I work off, I would hear a beat, and then I'd be like, okay, I want to write to this. I'm a writer mostly. My freestyle game is coming there, but I'm a writer mostly. At the moment, because of, I wouldn't say because there isn't really producers, because there is producers to be fair, but I'm not always inspired by every producer's beat. I might like one beat out of your 100 beats that you might have for me. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's why I mostly get my beats off listening to YouTube beats. I would listen to YouTube beats and try to get inspiration off that. And I know YouTube beats are often frowned upon, but away that's where I mostly get my inspiration from, listening to the beats, the writing it. Recording wise, I don't have my own studio. I temporarily had one, but I've mostly recorded at two places. At Slim Doja, who's my cousin, I've mostly recorded at him. Basically on a favor basis where he just allows me to come record. And then I've recorded with you at your studio. Do you understand what I'm saying? When we were part of 184. But yeah, I've recorded at a few other studios, but like those two have basically been my main two places I've recorded at. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to know, man, the process also of how artists get their music made. Because some people make their music different.
I wanted to say this also because I haven't done it, but I am open to it. I don't know how other artists feel. I haven't written music where I wouldn't consider it ghostwriting. I would more say it's collaborative because there's a difference between a collaborative song where I'm the only artist eventually on the song, but we work together on the project, and then you ghostwriting for me. Do you understand? I still want to work in the studio where we plenty of people, and I'll be like, hey, listen, what do you guys think I must say, yo? Or what do you think about this line? And maybe you tweak it a bit for me. Or I gain inspiration from, because I feel like more brains are better than one. Do you understand what I'm saying? But mostly, for now, I've only made my music when I am basically sitting down writing on my own. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I'm open to having studio sessions like that.
Having people basically write for you.
To being writers on a project for me, yes.
with you obviously also.
Of course, that's why I would say collaborative. Do you understand what I'm saying? I would obviously give you credit as well, but ghostwriting is a different topic. Do you understand what I'm saying?
But especially for hip hop, ghostwriting is very, that's funny. It's only hip hop that it's frowned upon.
Yeah, because I
Every
think
place it's-
hip hop is also one of the. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if other genres does this, but hip hop is very competitive. We see this as a sport, so it's also always a jostling for position. You can't be the best if you didn't write that thing that makes you better than me. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, battle culture always has been part of hip hop, and competing has always been part of hip hop. So that's where I think the frowning upon ghostwriting comes in. But it's different when you talk about who's a better artist and who makes better music. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Definitely, yes. Definitely. But with that, we came to the end of the first segment. Yeah, it goes quick. So we're gonna just take a short break, and then we'll see you guys now. See you soon. Hi, are you from Cape Town looking for a place to record your music? Well, check no further because MX Blue has you covered. Our studio is located in Kraaifontein. However, if you do require someone to come out to you, that can also be arranged. So if you are looking for a place to record, or you know of someone that needs a place to record, down below in the description I will put a WhatsApp contact. You can just send me a message and I'll speak to you. Just message the WhatsApp link down below and let's get started. Let's record your first song. Yeah, we are back with another segment with Big Belly Bufu. So before I get into more of the questions, we were talking about his music before we left. Before I get back into that, I just want to do some icebreakers with you. You know what Would You Rathers are, right? Obviously. Most people do. So I'm going to give you some Would You Rathers here. First one. Would you rather sacrifice your career for your partner's success or have them sacrifice theirs for yours?
Tough. I don't know. I don't know. That's a lose-lose, I feel like. Because we need to both be successful, bro. Try to understand what I'm saying. So I guess if I'm gonna bet on one person to make it, I'm bet on myself. You understand what I'm saying? So I will sacrifice us.
You bet on sacrifice. Okay. No, that's a fair point. You bet on yourself, Next one. Would you rather lose all your friends but keep your family, or lose your family but keep all of your friends?
I'd rather lose all my friends.
Why your friends?
Because I feel like not all my family members to be real though, but certain family members, like the bond we have, I don't know, man. I can't. That's non-negotiable. Do you understand what I'm saying? Definitely family over friends.
Okay, you hear that, friends? He's gonna sacrifice you. I'm joking. Okay, so I have three more. I usually make the guest pick between that. I'm just gonna do one more out of those three. So 1, 2, 3, which one would you like? Number one. Okay. Would you rather have the power to read minds but never turn it off, or always have people know what you are thinking?
I'd rather read minds.
And never turn it off.
Then have people think, you know what I'm thinking? I would rather know and be disgusted. But at least I know. Do you understand? And I know you don't know. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that I would choose to be the one reading the minds.
You don't want them to read your disgusting thoughts, you say?
Maybe I'm plotting or something. I don't want them to know. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I get it. I think I would also do the same thing. So let's get back to your music. You recently dropped a song that you've name dropped a few people in that song. Was that a diss track or what was that? Why did you mention those people?
Firstly, I would say it's not a diss track because I personally feel like I didn't diss anybody. But I can see, I'm not stupid also, I can see why people would take it as a diss track. As far as why I mentioned those people, I think each of them has the individual reasons why I mentioned them. If you want me to go into that, I can, but each of them has the individual reasons for why I had name dropped them.
You can go, but there's also one particular name that you dropped, which is 184. And in there you mentioned specifically saying that you don't need 184. So the question is, why do you feel you needed to say that?
Okay, for context, because I want to be real, to understand what I'm saying, and being real might not always be right, but it's real. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So for context, what I said was, I'm killing niggas and might never stop. Niggas on the block say Slim is coming for my spot. Why the fuck would I hate on rappers when I'm at the top? I never needed 184 to drop it like it's hot. Maybe, I don't know if it came so through in the final verse, but that is definitely what I wrote. Slim is coming for my spot. Why the fuck would I hate on rappers when I'm at the top? I don't need 184 to drop it like it's hot. Do you understand what I'm saying? So for context, what I was saying is I can't compete with Slim. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I'm at the top. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I can't compete with those below me. And I was saying, for context, I felt like, what I was saying was, this might sound so fucked up. Do you understand what I'm saying? But what I was really saying is, when he dropped with 184, he was dropping what shit? Do you understand what I'm saying? And I felt like 184 definitely helped his career, like it did help me as well. Do you understand? But I never got to drop music on 184. So you understand what I'm saying? So I was basically saying what he was, the reasons people would say he can go with me, or that, you understand what I'm saying, why he's in the conversation is through 184. And I never needed that privilege or got that advantage to even be compared to him. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that is basically what I was saying. I never dissed 184. 184 did do amazing things for me. Do you understand what I'm saying? I just never got to drop music under 184.
So then, why did you diss me?
I did not diss Magnus as well. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's why I was saying. I was saying in context, because that follows that line when I say I never needed 184. I mean, I drop it like it's hot. And even Magnus will leave. It's the same. I was just saying, Kiki, basically. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I don't know if I can even say this because it's unreleased. Do you understand? But there was rumors about Slim at the time being unhappy with certain people regarding to I wanted to split up and whatever. So I was basically saying, everybody's fine. Everybody's doing it. Even Magnus Boweliver, also referring to your song, Ik Boweliver. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I say everybody's doing something. And why would I hate on other rappers? You understand? I don't have time to be dissing other people. That's what I was basically saying with in Magnus Boweliver. Do you understand? I don't know how you can take that as a diss.
That's not the part that I was mentioning.
Oh.
When you were at one of the Cape Catacombs show, the part where if you go listen to the song now, it's not there. It sounds like you reversed the name or something, but it says, whoever dropped, or he dropped, but the shit flopped. However, at the Cape Catacombs, you mentioned Magnus. You said Magnus specific. So the question is just why did the man feel that he needed to diss me?
I don't know, Mabaruka. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think I said it. But if there's footage, like, put it in now and make me look ridiculous, bro. Edit it into here. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I think at the Cape Catacombs, I said dingus. Because, to be honest, I'm going to give a little game away or some secrets. But when I was recording the song, I asked the producer, because I literally wrote dingus also in my, because I wanted to apply it to everybody. But while I was recording it in the studio, I had the idea that I could reverse dingus. Do you understand? Because you can also, if you anybody has a song, you can reverse it and it will say dingus. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I wanted everybody who was going to listen to the song who was a rapper, even if you were mentioned or not mentioned, you might think, okay, yeah, I dropped something recently and this person might be talking about me. So I wanted to leave it open to interpretation. I don't think I said your name on the Cape Catacomb stage, but if I did, I don't know, bro. Edit it into the fucking show or something.
And then the other names who you also mentioned, one of which was Pytho.
Okay.
Why would you say you also named those? Was that like a challenge for mentioning?
Pytho, firstly. Pytho, I know through Slum. When I was basically I won't say starting, but when I started recording, like I said, I've been writing a long time. But when I started recording, Pytho was one of the popping rappers in Kraaifontein. I think he still has one of the highest viewed videos of a Kraaifontein rapper. You understand what I'm saying? And he was really one of the ones that were doing things at the time. And I thought it was dope. Do you understand what I'm saying? But it's been a while. He's been inactive. I haven't seen any of his music lately. And that's not to discredit him to say he's whack. It's actually to say Kiki. Because what I said was, oops, that was a typo. I really meant to say what the fuck happened to Pytho. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because, like, he's been missing. Or, like, I don't want to say fell off, but he's gone. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Would you, saying or speaking now of the best, would you say you are one of the best rappers in Kraaifontein?
Depends what you are talking about. I think there's a lot of lyrical rappers. If you're talking about who's the best lyrical rapper or who raps the best, I think that's yet to be tested. Do you understand what I'm saying? But when I say best, really, why I would say I'm the best or is definitely in the conversation for the best is because of the stuff I think I've done. Do you understand what I'm saying? And in terms of putting on for the city as well, do you understand? I don't know anybody who has really done more than what the level I've attained and am busy operating at now. Do you understand what I'm saying? Everybody that has done something, I can say I've done something similar or been in the same rooms with the same people. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's where I would say I'm definitely in the conversation for one of the best to ever do it out of the city, definitely.
Okay, so when you say those things that you did, like what type of things did you
I
make?
think I dropped a solid ass project. I've project out. I've done some features with artists. Do you understand? I've done shows. I've done I've been networking like all through the powers, or a lot mainly attributed to 184. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I've done this, man. Do you understand what I'm saying? I see the game as levels, and I'm at that level where I'm about to break through to the next table where I feel like we're not here at the enjoying us at the Matt Levi's, at the Crowbars. And I feel like man is just on that level of breaking through. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't. That's at least I feel like that's what I've done. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Your song is called 5 a.m. No? 5 a.m. in Brackenfell. However, you are referencing Kraaifontein people. Why not 5 a.m. in Kraaifontein?
The song is mostly about Kraaifontein if you listen to it. I've listened to it actually a few times after in the build up to releasing it, and I realized it wasn't actually intentional, but if you listen to the song, it's actually a 2-part song in the sense, because if you go through the first half of the song, it's basically me just talking about what Kraaifontein is about, the area, and explaining to the people who might not be familiar with the place. And then the second part is where I'm addressing the MCs to understand what I'm saying. But sorry, what was the question?
Why Brackenfell and not
Why
Kraaifontein?
Brackenfell? Yeah, it ties into the Pioneers reference, really, because they had dropped a song, the last song they really had dropped, funny enough, 4 a.m. in Kraaifontein. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I felt personally, like they start the song off by saying, I don't know who was that speaking there, but the song starts by saying, Pioneers is die beste rappers in die Kraaifontein, kom wat wil. Now, okay, firstly, I felt like they're not from Kraaifontein. Do you understand? So to be the best, yeah, where is other MCs is funny also. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then secondly, Combat is also like a challenge. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I was basically, I won't say it's a direct reply, but I would have said that did influence my writing going into the song, listening to 4 a.m. in Kraaifontein. And then I decided to, because the song was originally going to be called 6:15 in Blue Combos. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I decided to tie to that by naming it 5 a.m. in Brackenfell. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, 6:15. That sounds a bit too.
Yeah, because I wanted to make it a bit local one. You understand? Because the 5 a.m. in Dungas is a Drake reference, really. You understand what I'm saying? But so I wanted to say 6:15 in Blue Compass. But to try to make it a bit more apparent, that's why I named it 5 a.m. in Brackenfell.
With that also saying that you want to bring our culture, a lot of your songs, when you're doing the English in your songs, you are more like you choosing more the American accent at times.
Okay.
Why would you say you do that? Are you more influenced by America's artists?
More influence, yes. I would definitely say yes. I listen to more because just the hip hop scene is bigger over there. Do you understand? So I listen to definitely more artists over there. I am inspired by a lot of South African rappers, I won't lie. But when you refer to the English, is based off the music I listen to and the way the music sounds that I listen to. Do you understand what I'm saying? I get some people might feel alienated too when they listen to a song talking about niggas and stuff. You understand what I'm saying? But that's also something I want to tweak in my music a bit more, trying to make it more relatable and tweaking the small words where I can change it to something more appropriate locally. Do you understand what I'm saying? But that's where the inspiration comes from. Yeah.
Okay. So one thing I want to ask you, now that you have kind of left 184, we all had to must now disband. Do you also feel that in a way, since you also had to leave the other group before that, people now kind of looks like you're not going to make it because you left there,
Okay.
now you have a 184 and then you also didn't, get through. Do you feel some people look at it like that?
I don't know if people would look at it like that, but I definitely don't look at it like that. I think 184 was I want to call it the stepping stone, but it was a great learning curve for me. I learned a lot. I definitely stepped out better on the other side than I went into joining 184. And musically, I've always believed in myself, and I will always believe in myself. Like, there's a lot of dope music that I made with 184 that never saw the light of day. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I still was willing to bet on myself, like, I'm going to create more dope music. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, it was never really a concept that I needed these associates to be who I am, really. Because I always believed in myself. But it was more or less of just, it's better to work together. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Of course, yes.
So that was my beauty. And even if it doesn't work out, it doesn't mean it's the end, you understand? You should you should always have a plan for yourself, even if you're in a group or with a label. You should always have a plan for yourself, and be working towards that goal. Do you understand?
Truly, yeah, because at the end of the day, things fail, man.
I told you also. I told you also when you told me the news of we gonna be disbanding. Like the first thing I said is gonna be interesting to see who sinks or who swims. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
we've kind of seen.
I've always had belief that I would be able to swim. Facts. I don't know. That's true.
I believe all of the people from 184 could have swum. They just some didn't wanna move their arms.
There's a lot of dope artists that was in 184. But one of the factors that I personally believe why we didn't succeed really is because a lack of effort. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Definitely, yes.
So that's why I felt like the excuses disappears when you can't hide in a crowd. Do you understand? When it's time up for you to make it happen, that's when we're gonna really see the character you are.
True. That also builds you in a way. So if you weren't there, you are now kind of forced to put yourself there if you're alone, you know. Because a lot of the things with a group also, you get a lot of things given to you also, you know. You don't have to do everything yourself, which is also the nice thing.
Yeah, when you feel like when the roles aren't clear, when the responsibility isn't clear, like this is up to you to make this happen, that's when the blame gets shifted over. Like I didn't know I had to do this type of shit happens. But now I'm done with that mentality type of like, if I fail, it has to be because I didn't do anything. Do you understand what I'm saying?
True, yeah. Fail on your behalf, not someone else's. But okay, now we came to the end of the second segment.
What the hell?
So we're gonna take another short break. Then we're gonna get into some other topics. See you guys now.
Did you play that?
Yeah, that plays at the end of the. Yeah. Welcome back to the final segment. We are here with Big Belly Bufu.
Yes, sir.
We were talking about his music before we left for the break. So let's get into some other topics. You said you were a multifaceted person, right? So one thing also people don't know about you, besides now the arts, you are also into politics. Am I correct?
Correct.
Cool. So, so I want to ask you this question that you asked me when we were on the podcast. Do you think white people stole the land?
Oh, we're going to jump into that crazy. Short answer, yes. Short answer, yes.
And then the explanation? Why?
I feel like I'm an indigenous person to this earth. You understand what I'm saying? Not to this earth, to South Africa. To this land. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I feel like since white people's arrival, we've sort of become second-class citizens in this country. Do you understand? We are landless people. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I think that historically hasn't happened by the most honorable ways. Do you understand what I'm saying? And using oppressive, how can I say, generational tactics that they have been using to displace and disenfranchise ourselves of our land. Do you understand what I'm saying? Acts that has been put in place, laws that has been passed. So I think short term, because we can really get into that context, but it's gonna be a very long. But short term answer, yeah, I feel like white people did steal the land in South Africa. Away.
Would you say that applies to all white people?
No. I think definitely there's white people that love here now. that who aren't descendants of the people that came here um, and did what the displacement that we were speaking about. Do you understand what I'm saying? That are
Mm.
now only coming to here. But do you understand when I mean why people stole the land? I'm talking about the landowners of South Africa, the people that are owning the land. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm.
Most of it is stolen land.
But would you say, right? Because I'm not. I know that this look of my skin color. I'm not defending anything. I'm just trying to be devil's advocate.
Yeah,
Right?
sure.
These people that have the land now, 400 years ago, their descendants, let's say they stole it. No? They
Yeah.
stole it. They in the whatever generation, fifth or sixth generation, right?
Yes.
So them technically in their mind, they haven't stolen the land. It has been in their family.
I agree.
Then how would we talk to them because they own the land? Let's say they own the land. You telling them they stole the land. Don't you feel that they would therefore be like, okay, now then I don't want to talk to
I would
you.
understand why they would feel like that, but at the same time, I'm a firm supporter of affirmative action being correcting the injustices of the past.
Mm.
Do you understand what I'm saying? And not only have they benefited off the land,
Mm.
it's still in their possession. Do you
Mm.
understand? They still control the means of production in the country. Um, and our people are landless. Our people don't have houses. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like basic need for land. Do you
Mm.
understand what I'm saying? And I don't think it's up to them to readdress it because they are just individual people, but it is in our
Mm.
constitution, it is in our government's capabilities. Like Cyril did pass the expropriation law the other day. I don't know if you are aware of it. Um, but aware, it is in our government's right to repossess the land and how can I say evenly distributed amongst the landless people of the country. Because we know how the land ended up in the hands of the people that it is in now and at the scale that it is now. Do you
Mm.
understand what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my opinion on that.
Yeah, here's also another thing. Huh? Something as you would say, the land expropriation or the land redistribution, that would be a very complex subject matter, right? Very
Yes.
complex. Do you think an organization like the ANC, who already cannot, I guess, control a lot of the things that's happening within their system, do you think they can actively have a proper, fair, and legal system?
Actively no. Um, in theory, yes,
Mm.
but actively no because if we are being real about it, they are not all they're not righteous, you understand what I'm saying, but at the same time they are victims of sabotage, which any leader who would take this approach would be an act of sabotage, whether it is by the ones who are owning the land currently, do you understand what I'm saying, or it being foreign entities like the CIA
Mm.
or other governments who would not want to see this take place, you understand. Capitalism, really, just generally speaking, would hinder the process of the ANC being able to do that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Capitalism would hinder them from
Yeah,
taking the
the
land.
land and distributing it evenly because capitalism doesn't favor the poor. Capitalism doesn't favor um, community. That's where the word communism comes from. Do you understand what I'm saying? From the word community being collective. Do you understand? Capitalism is a crabs in a bucket mentality where it's almost like if you make it out to the top, good for you. Do you understand? It's a rich get rich, poor gets
Mm.
poorer. So they would never back a policy where the poor benefits. Do you
Would
understand?
you, would you say that's inherently in capitalism, or can we have a proper, fair capitalistic society?
Ideally, probably, but right now, no. The world is too greedy. It's just
Mm.
gimme, 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 nothing for you to understand what I'm saying. So, ideally, yes, but realistically, no.
Okay, so with that also, since we are in this with the greed and let's say even corruption, if we were to take the land away from white people, do you think it's fair just to give it to black people randomly? Not even Sarah, because they.
Fair is a tough word because, generally speaking, yes, it should be fair because it is theirs. So, regardless, if you steal something from me, your question shouldn't be, what am I going to do with it once you give it back? Do you understand what I'm saying? That has nothing to do with you.
But
But I feel like also, being that the land is of such importance and of critical, how can I say, it's tied to our economy.
yeah.
It would be stupid to give the land to people that is not gonna make it. How can I say, functionable? Do
Mm,
you understand what I'm saying? So that's where the government comes in. That's where the current owners comes in transferring the knowledge and
yes.
setting the people up to successfully manage the land that they are about to receive.
But besides that, no, let's say I stole from your granddaddy, no,
Okay.
your great granddaddy, whatever, the land long ago. Not
Mm.
even me, sorry, my great
Your
grandfather
great
stole
means.
this land here, right, from your family.
Mm.
We get to the future, they change the laws, and they give the land to someone not in your family, like just because he was a colored bra, they just gave it to him.
I get that.
Don't you think that is also we're falling onto the
That's too technical because I feel like the numbers and the demographics has changed a lot since we've been dispossessed of our land. There's way more people, there's way more need for land for housing. So I feel like the smart thing for the government is to have an approach where they're doing the best what's best for everybody. Regardless if your mentor was whatever. You understand what I'm saying? We shouldn't have the approach that it's me first. Do you understand what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to basic necessities like land. You understand what I'm saying?
land and housing.
So that's what, even with the concept of this the Khoi starting to claim land, I find it very problematic because we can't really even determine who is Khoi and who's not. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because the color term as is a mixed bag, to be honest. Do you understand what I'm saying? Are we gonna say people who are originally from Malaysia or from Indonesia or India or wherever gets to say I'm a First Nations person and get to who decides who's a chief and all of that stuff? I just find it very problematic with their whole approach to getting the land. Do you understand what I'm saying?
But it does, yeah, it does become very. Let's look at it in terms of me and you
It
now.
becomes political, man.
It is
Less
political.
humanitarian and more political.
Yes, because a lot of people seems to want to be Khoi just because they are colored. You see,
Yeah, do you
they
understand?
haven't looked
Or
at their blood,
because
their DNA.
away it's the quiet thing to say. Do you
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying?
totally.
But it's a complicated term because not everybody is koi. Do you understand what I'm saying? So for us to say no, we're not colored, we koi is very problematic. I think. Do you understand? Also, being
Definitely.
identifying as a colored is also problematic. But that's where we are. We're in a problematic situation at the moment.
Why would you say that is problematic?
Because what is a colored? Who 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 classified you as a color? What is a color? A color is not an ethnicity.
We can. Asian is also not necessarily an ethnicity. There's also Hawaiians that's not necessarily an ethnicity. But in terms of culture wise,
Do you think the when we speak about the broad term colored, it refers to everybody's culture? Do we have one universal culture as coloreds? I don't think so.
saying it like that would also then put it in terms of calling the black people African. We can call each other African, right?
We all are African.
Yes. But in word that African that unites us, we can also look at that and say, okay, that's what us Congolese, that's what I
Yeah, for
is,
sure. And I don't say we all okay. We're all the same. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I would say culturally, the colors is not like we okay. Yes, the colors is close us. No, there's no. What is a color? You understand what I'm saying? Like, I get the broad term. There's probably a lot of things that will be similar in every colored household, but I don't think it's universal.
Okay, here's a question. Huh? What made the closer people closer?
I think culture and DNA and the way they lived. Do you understand what I'm saying? Community based was.
Community,
Yeah.
right? That's it. It's basically just culture is basically through community, right?
Away.
So then, wouldn't you say there's a certain type or certain form of community that the way the colors
For sure. But I
approach
mean,
like
generally,
food?
when you speak about genetics and DNA, there is no such thing as a colored.
Of course, we're not saying in terms of genetics when we look at that, because we can also then say black and white. Calling people black and white is a very nuanced genetic, because some people are white and then they're black in the
Yeah, but
thing.
when we speak about the thing, let's talk about like maybe like self determination. The people that want to identify themselves as Afrikaners, you
Mm,
understand, and want to say want to get a folk start or get land for themselves or whatever. We as coloureds can't do that because we do not have a national identity. We speak other person's language. We have other people's names. We don't have a history. Do you understand what I'm saying? What is the history? We are
we kind of we technically do have a history.
yeah,
You
but
see,
I don't know.
the thing I feel people don't really know what culture is and how to explain that, because culture is not necessarily DNA. For example, cars were made by us, that didn't come naturally, no? But you get car culture.
I would say there's a spinning
You
culture.
can say spinning culture, which is even a nuanced thing in car culture, you see, and stance also being another thing. Not everybody likes that stuff, that certain things. However, if you say car culture, we can say stance, we can say the hydraulics, the men who love the cars that
Mm,
bounce. So we can say the men who love monster trucks. We can say the men who loves the look of the car, like how the Ferraris are made.
I
You
get you, but
see,
are you tying that
what
into?
I am just saying is that the culture is the community, is the fact that we are experiencing having the car. That is the experience that is universal,
Okay.
right? That is also in color. If you look at colors we have, you just need to look, because being in it, it's hard to say, yo, that is my culture, this is my culture. But if you really look in it, you will be able to see the way we make food is different, the way that aunties talk to each other is different to the other cultures, the way even how they have
I
fun
get
and board
what you were
games,
saying. I was just meaning generally when you speak about how the term came about and genetics wise.
and
There's
that is
nothing that
something
makes us colored.
we agree. It's not necessarily that something, because the way colors form was an unfortunate series of events, right? The men wanted to, have sex, and maybe they didn't have protection at that time, or maybe they were even doing it to force the white people onto the other races, to kind of make
Away.
your home here.
But even like when you go into the classification of colors, when there was differentiated what when you are colored, when you are black, when you are white,
Mm.
the lines are blurred. Do you understand what I'm
Even that,
saying?
I agree with that. Yes.
So it's problematic being classified, but I guess it's down to the things that you were saying, the cultural experience that you do get from colored households. So
So here's the thing, no? How would you classify your family culturally?
culturally, I would say we probably like what you said, colored.
Uh,
You
and there's
understand what
no
I'm saying?
other way you can, because you can't say now we are Khoi,
You mean
Belly.
genetics wise? I don't
Not
know.
even genetics, man.
Culture.
Because the color culture is, it's like you said, it's a mix of, it's other cultures that also came and added
Away.
in. So I'm just trying to look at, like, how does a black family say, okay, now our culture is Xhosa? How do they know that?
Tradition, like we what is it, the color tradition? I don't know.
But we can't have. That's the thing, man. It's hard for us to say traditions because one, our race is very small, right? Because when they came and they colonized and they had sex, they first had to have sex. Those men had to not be accepted, and then they
And I
were
think it's also
good
because our
women.
race is very new. If you want to
Yes,
say
that's
our
what I'm
race,
saying.
do you understand what
It's
I'm
it's
saying?
it's it's fairly new. That's why we don't have
Those traditions sit in place. I would
exactly.
say the probably like people would say the klopse, probably, but
Yeah, that
I don't know if
is.
it translates to everybody who would say they are colored.
Uh,
Do you understand what I'm saying? But I get what you're trying to say for
I
sure.
mean, but that is also something that I, wanna understand also, like what is colored, and like you said, where does the line stop
You probably
between black and
yeah, you
white
probably
and
get a
colored?
hundred different answers
Yeah,
for that shit. You understand what
and
I'm
then
saying?
that's why it makes it so hard, man. At the end of the day.
I guess it's up to you if you want to know, because some people's just content with being colored. It's too
Yeah,
much effort, I guess.
and I agree with that with that term. Like, for example, we are essentially using the colored term the same way America uses the N word, except
I disagree. I think
in a different way.
the way colors are designed and the way it was set up and the implications it has had. Um, as for because that is a very prevalent thing, whether we want to talk about it or not. And I know it's from vice versa, but I can speak for us and I can say there's definitely racism amongst colored people towards black people, having a almost a deputy white mentality. Oh, I'm not as good as the whites, but I'm better than the black people. Do you understand what I'm saying? And where I would in America's culture, where I would term that is the house nigga and the field nigga mentality, where it's almost like if I do this to impress the boss, I might carry favor with him, and even if it means selling you out. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's how the divide and conquer kind of thing comes in because they're saying, okay, I'm gonna give you guys this favor, Sinzai, and then you guys almost like because we perpetuate the idea of white supremacy by identifying as colored, I believe. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You would say that adds to white supremacy.
Yeah, the idea that you are better than black, Sinzai, what which you are not better than black, which you because you are black mostly.
Oh, you're saying which you are
We are
black.
African. Let me say it like that.
Yeah, definitely, yes, but we are also almost now European, and it also gets very difficult to, like you said, draw the line. How do you say who's more white, who's more black?
Now it's not
It's
about who's more white and who's more. It's about who's black and who's white.
it shouldn't be about, but that's
It's
that.
not sure. It's
That's
not really about us against them or nothing like that. But it's important to know who you are. Man. Do you understand?
definitely.
Because you are facing consequences of who you are. Do you understand? And why you are and where you are. Since so, it's important to know those things.
Definitely.
Since,
Definitely. Well, it was an interesting ending. Thus we've come to the end of the podcast,
but
end
I
of
must come
this
again because
segment.
this cat fly too
Nah,
fast. Man.
definitely. So before we go, uh, can you just tell people where they can find your music and your
I
stuff?
wanna get still expand where I can get my music out on all platforms. But currently I'm only available on YouTube. Cape One Entertainment. Cape as in Cape Town, one as in the number ONE Entertainment. Away that's where you'll find me on YouTube. Or you can just search Big Belly Bufu and away that's where you'll find my music on YouTube. Big things coming this year. We'll be pushing music videos coming, other projects also. So yeah, stay tuned.
Cool, cool. Thank you guys for tuning in to another show of the Kami Talk Kak podcast. I will definitely have Bufu in again because I feel like this we
There's so
didn't
much
get deep.
unspoken stuff. Yeah.
Those politics was an interesting thing also to go into. I like that. But yeah, I will catch him next time. Catch you on the next show also. Safe.
Peace.
Peace.